Hi everyone, welcome back. And we are playing Diablo 2 Resurrected. So the final game is finally live. I'm sure you guys have seen it by now. It's been out for 1 or 2 weeks, I want to say. And if you guys haven't had a chance to play it yet, it's fantastic. I mean, I have no complaints. It does feel exactly like the original. And the best part is, it's pretty easy to level, I find. I've actually been playing this game right now for a couple of hours only, and I'm already, 6, 7 levels in. It goes pretty fast. I mean, granted, we know how these games go. The higher you are, the harder it gets to level. But I mean, the drop rates are amazing, as you can see on my screen now. Yes, there's still very basic bad gear, but there's actually still some rares, which, from what I recall, in the original Diablo 2, it was not that easy to get some magical items, some rares here and there. Even the charms, from what I recall, it was kind of pretty hard to get. So I'm actually happy that the drop rates are pretty decent and you get an opportunity to kind of get some gear to help you level. So that's very good. For those of you that have never played the game, pardon me, I find that the Amazon is really good for that. And as you can see, you have a lot of great abilities when it comes to your spear, and even some amazing passives that essentially help you see the mobs better, get double damage, get dodge abilities. So I find the Amazon, when it comes to leveling especially, is really amazing. Like, you drop the enemies very fast. So for those of you that are going to be starting playing this game and seeing how it is, my recommendation, at least, nobody really has to follow it. I find that the Amazon is one of the best classes for that. Like, the enemies go down very, very quickly. I just hate the storage here. No matter how much storage they put, like, you really can't hold that much. Oh my god. Anyways, yeah. So Amazon, great choice. I've tried other characters as well. They weren't as fun. I mean, they're playable. They're very exciting when you start getting to higher levels. When it comes to leveling, I personally think that Amazon is one of the best choices, and you guys can kind of try it out and tell me what you guys think as well. And yeah, so we're here, we're playing now some Diablo 2 Resurrected, and it is, like I said, a lot of fun. It's really like the original. They did a fantastic job emulating it, and wait until you guys see when I go with a pack of mobs here and an elite, how quickly they'll actually drop with my Amazon, as opposed to when I took my necromancer and my wizard. I had a harder time. Like, I had to constantly be healing. With my necromancer, I believe I actually died even one time. So I don't know. I find it's a perfect class as a combination between tank and DPS. And so playing through this game, I think my biggest takeaway is they did a fantastic job emulating how it looks like, how it felt like back in the days. And I guess, man, I would love for them to make the bag bigger.
Hi there. I'm Chelsea.
Like when you're holding it. One advice that I can give everyone, if it's the first time you're playing this, is when you're getting magical items, they're all unidentified. So you don't really know what it is, what you're getting, until you actually use a scroll and see what it is, right? Eventually you will get a character, which is the Decker Kane, that will do everything for you for free. For now, you kind of have to purchase those scrolls. The reason why it's important, not only do you not know what type of magical items you have under that unidentified, and you're not really sure if you can use it or not, which is a big thing, because the stats might be horrible And the second that you use your scroll, you realize that this is one of the best weapons you've ever seen. So very important for that. And if nothing else, if you don't want it and you just say, you know what, vendor trash, I'm just going to sell it, get some gold out of it. Well, guess what? Chances are, when you use the scroll to see what type of enchant that weapon or armor has, it will actually cost more money. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It's actually, you can sell it for more money, is what I meant to say. So very important to do that as well. And so now what I'm trying to do is trying to go to the dark woods and get a specific scroll for me to be able to go back to those 5 pillars that I just defeated that elite mob and get the portal in. So with that, when I go to the dark woods, they're going to give me a scroll that I'll be able to go inside and free up Decker King, which you need to be able to continue with the storyline. And he's the guy that basically unidentifies all the armor and weapons for free. So you want that as well. The only problem is I don't remember which way it is. I had to close it for a few minutes so I can get myself a glass of water, and I don't remember which it is. So we're kind of starting from scratch here. Ooh. All right, that I would like. Perfect. So yeah, so we're going around and seeing Cold Plains. Huh. I don't think this is the right way. I think I'm going the wrong way. I have to go the opposite side, I believe. Well, until I figure this out, gonna continue killing some mobs and getting some loot here. And for the newer people, make sure you get those shrines. Very important. The shrines give you additional abilities to be able to fight mobs. So as you can see above my head, I have a floating hand right now, which will essentially give me additional abilities, and you can see them on your map because they have like little yellow circles with crosses on them, right? So very important. When you do level up, unlike other games, you do also have the ability to be able to choose what type of stats you want, and they tell you, right? So when you scroll over it, you have the ability for strength, dexterity, stamina, intellect, and they all give you different abilities. So you do need those to be able to equip certain weapons or armor, but at the same time, they will give you some passive bonuses. Example, additional DPS, extra life, what else? Extra crit potentially, or mana, which you need to cast your spells. And you get 5 of them every single time you open that you can kind of allocate to your liking. You do have, places on the internet that kind of guide you to tell you how you can allocate them. I personally have a lot more fun trying to, experiment a little bit more with it. I mean, obviously, you want to be careful how you allocate them, because if you put everything in mana to make sure that you don't run out of any spell casting, well, you kind of sacrifice on your DPS and potentially be able to wear some equipment. So yeah, you want to be careful with it, but it doesn't necessarily hurt to experiment and have a little bit of fun with that as well. On the other side, you're also going to get one extra ability, or one extra point I should say, to be able to choose an ability, or I guess even a passive ability you can call it. So this is something that will actually make your character stronger. It will give you additional ways to, cast spells, kill mobs, protect yourself, and you get to pick and choose, right? And again, as I mentioned, one of the great reasons why I find that the Amazon is so amazing is simply because you have a lot more of those passive abilities to be able to protect yourself, as opposed to some other classes. I'll give you the example of the Necromancer, which I believe is one of the hardest classes to level. This is just me. Nobody has to agree with me. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that will not agree. I personally always had that harder time just because you depend so much on your mobs. And again, I say mobs, but like your minions, right? You depend so much on them to be able to do that extra damage or tank that at a certain point, as you're leveling, you're gonna reach a cap, and the mobs, like the enemies around you, are gonna be that much harder that they're gonna be one-shotting them. Well, the problem is if they're one-shotting them, and you're depending on them to be able to either deal DPS or tank, well, it's not really helping you there. So you do reach a point that you're gonna have a harder time. I find. Nobody has to agree with me. If you guys disagree with me, please let me know in the comments, and you can definitely tell me how you find your necromancer class and how you play them. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has different opinions. That's just mine, right? It's not a fact, it's my opinion. But in this case, you have a nice little combination. So the mobs here, you can see there's a lot of repetition, right? It's always the same type of mobs that do come back. And it is more or less like that when you're looking at the beginning of the Diablo 2 Resurrected, and even the original. It's always the same type of mobs that do come back, different colors, different shades. They don't really change that much. But that being said, don't forget, this is a very old game. And as you progress, they do add on to it. So don't get discouraged by the first act. It does get better. The storyline does also get more interesting. So these are my thoughts. This is just a little bit of what I'm playing right now and how I feel about the game. Things to be potentially just can help you guys out a little bit at the same time. So I'll let you guys finish watching the video with the gameplay. I'll make another one just kind of going a little bit more in depth and potentially also more gameplays at the same time. Let me know what you guys think. What is your favorite class? How you like it? And any other comments you have, I'd love to hear from you guys. So like it if you like it, subscribe, it helps me out a lot. And with that being said, peace and enjoy the rest of the movie.
I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore. I am overburdened. I am overburdened.